Real quick, before we get into the goodness, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified to every time we upload a video. Appreciate you. You want me to tell y'all something crazy? And this is as crazy as I've seen it. Do you know being a normal, rational person makes you a right-wing extremist? It does. You see, the left are so far out of their minds that anything, and I mean the slightest thing, that does not fully conform to all their beliefs, you're automatically a right-wing extremist. Like people who don't believe that biologically born males who decide to identify as females should not compete against females in competitions of strength, speed, and stamina that take physical exertion. Those people who believe that those men shouldn't be competing against those women, we are right-wing extremists. Yeah, they are that far gone, that unreasonable, that irrational, that if you don't agree with them, you are an extremist. Take, for instance, J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is a full-on lefty. She believes in 99.9% of everything that the liberal left side of the ideology believes in. She believes in it. But because she says a man is a man, a woman is a woman, and they have to have their own separate spaces, they all turned on her. Ain't that a damn shame? One thing, and they all turned on her. Which is something else that's amazing about the left side. They eat their own faster than anything else. You see, the people in the middle, like myself, what I call normies, we don't fully agree with each other on every single topic. We may have different attitudes about parenting or even how the transgender issue should be handled. But we don't turn on each other. We don't banish each other. We don't go out and try to character assassinate or social media embarrass someone that we don't agree with. We just go, oh, okay, well, I don't agree, and we move the on with life. It's not that way on the left. No, in their world, you're in 100% or you're all the way out. Why is that? Why does it have to be so extreme? And it should absolutely frighten everyone, even those people that are on the, and believe me, there are people on the left that are quite normal, that are literally sitting on the edge of being kicked out right now, that are listening to this. But they can't say anything because they don't want to face that ridicule. They don't want to deal with the backlash. It's okay because it's more of us than them. And do you want me to tell you how I know this? It's because the other side is a handful, but they have better tactics. One of the things that you must do to get a group of people to conform is control the channels of communication. And they do. They have the media. They have the mainstream media. They have the bulk of the internet because they know through communication, without communication, I can keep the propaganda going without any dissent, without any pushback, without any truth. Why do you think they had such a fit when Elon Musk bought Twitter and he kept saying free speech? Free speech. Let people say what they will. Because they were losing a piece of their communication. They were losing one of their strongest forms of communication. And why do you think they're suddenly slandering it to death? Oh, it was fine when a leftist was in control. But now there's somebody who's not them, somebody who goes against them is in control. It's an issue. Yet Twitter hasn't much changed via content and tweets since Elon took over. It's really not much changed. Fewer bannings. But it's still the same channel open to everyone to say what you will. What terrified them? They lost control. They could no longer control the message. They couldn't silence the people that disagreed with them. Communication is the key. As a matter of fact, I want to let Malcolm X tell y'all what he said. And this was 60 years ago when he said this. Check it out.
That's what they're always telling you. Never let your enemy tell you how many of you there are. Never let the man that you're against form your opinions. This is the trick that's played on everyone who's oppressed. The first thing, an occupation, when you have a revolution in the country, the first thing you take over is the radio. And then you start telling the people, everybody, the war is over. And so all of them surrender. No, they believe that thing right there. And once they take that over, they start telling you where you are and where they are, and you fall right in line. It's plain thought control.
Like I said, there are more of us. We just don't talk as loud. Malcolm X just said it. The first thing the enemy does is take control of the radio, tell you that the war's over. Malcolm X also just said, you just heard him say, never let the enemy tell you how many of you there are. This culture war is, as I've said before, it is a fight for the very soul and sanity of this nation. And we can't stop fighting it. We cannot. We sat by too long silent, hoping that the other side will come to their senses, and we see where that's gotten us. So now it's time to push back, to fight for reason and rationale, good morals and sound logic. It is time for us to take the heart and goodwill and spirit of this nation back.
Even if everyone is telling you that something wrong is something right, even if the whole world is telling you to move, it is your duty to plant yourself like a tree, look them in the eye and say no. You move.
I'm not even worried about making America great again. Let's make America America again. Let's start there. Wait. Stop right there. That was a sample. You want the whole entree? Follow us on our podcast, Free Mind Thinkers. You can find us where you pick up any and all your favorite podcasts. That includes Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Until next time, y'all take care of yourselves and always dare to think differently.